What if I told you that the first 5 minutes after you open your eyes tomorrow morning could determine whether you have 5 more years to live or 30? Picture this moment that happens in millions of homes across America every single day. An older person sits on the edge of their bed, feeling that familiar stiffness in their joints, that heaviness in their chest, wondering if today will be another day of just getting by. They shuffle to the bathroom, splash cold water on their face, and begin another day exactly like yesterday, not knowing they're missing a window of opportunity that could change everything. Here's what no one wants to admit about getting older. We've been told that decline is inevitable, that our best years are behind us, that we should just accept the aches, the foggy thinking, the slow shuffle. But what if that's the biggest lie ever told about aging? What if there's ancient wisdom, now proven by modern science, that shows us exactly how to turn our bodies into allies instead of enemies, starting with just 5 simple minutes each morning? In the next few minutes, I'm going to share with you 5 morning rituals that monks have used for over 1,000 years to maintain strength and clarity well into their hundreds, combined with cutting-edge research that proves why these habits work. You don't need expensive supplements, complicated equipment, or hours of your time. Just 5 minutes tomorrow morning could be the beginning of the strongest, clearest, most vibrant chapter of your entire life. Number 1. The power of the first 5 minutes of the day. Your body doesn't know if today will be your last day or the first day of 30 more years, but it's listening for your answer the moment you open your eyes. Right now, millions of people over 60 are waking up, and in the next 5 minutes, they'll make a choice that could determine whether they live with strength and clarity or slowly fade into frailty. Meet Dorothy, 72 years old, from Ohio. 2 years ago, she would shuffle to the kitchen each morning, feeling like her body was betraying her. Her joints ached, her mind felt foggy, and she wondered if this was just what getting older meant. Then she discovered something that changed everything. Now, at 74, she moves with purpose, thinks with clarity, and feels more alive than she did in her 60s. The difference wasn't medicine or surgery. It was what she chose to do in those first 5 precious minutes after opening her eyes. Here's what most people don't understand about aging. Your body is constantly deciding whether to build you up or break you down, and that decision happens most powerfully in the transition from sleep to wakefulness. During those first moments, your heart rate changes, your blood pressure shifts, your brain awakens, and your entire system receives a signal about what kind of day this will be. When you ignore this window, when you stumble blindly into your morning, you're telling your body that decline is acceptable. But when you use these 5 minutes with intention, when you give your body clear, loving commands, everything changes. Your circulation improves, your balance strengthens, your mind sharpens, and your spirit awakens. These aren't just good feelings. This is your body choosing vitality over deterioration, strength over weakness, hope over resignation. The truth is simple but profound. You have more control over how you age than you've been told. And it all begins with what you choose to do tomorrow morning when you first open your eyes. Number 2. Origin and credibility of the rituals. What if I told you that monks living in remote mountains have been practicing something for over 1,000 years that modern science is just now proving can add decades to your life? For centuries, the Shaolin monks of China have understood a secret about the human body that we're only beginning to grasp. They don't just live long lives. They live strong lives, maintaining flexibility, mental clarity, and spiritual peace well into their hundreds. These aren't fairy tales or ancient myths. These are documented practices that have been tested by time and validated by the most rigorous scientific research. Harvard Medical School, Johns Hopkins, the Mayo Clinic, researchers around the world are discovering that what the monks knew intuitively, our laboratories can now prove with data. The morning rituals we're about to explore aren't just traditions. They're medicine without side effects, healing without prescriptions. But here's what makes this even more powerful. The monks didn't develop these practices for people who were already healthy and strong. They created them for human beings facing the same challenges you face. Aging bodies, stiffening joints, clouding minds, the daily battle against time itself. They understood that the morning hours hold a special power, a window when the body is most receptive to healing commands. What we're about to share with you isn't Eastern mysticism or wishful thinking. It's practical wisdom that has stood the test of centuries, now supported by peer-reviewed research and clinical studies. Each of these 5 steps has been proven to protect your heart, strengthen your mind, preserve your balance, and maintain your independence. Think of these morning rituals as a protective shield, built one mindful moment at a time, defending you against the effects of aging while honoring the wisdom your body already contains. This is your invitation to join a tradition that spans generations, backed by science, and available to you starting tomorrow morning. Number 3. Morning hydration. Right now, as you're listening to this, your blood is thicker than it should be. While you slept last night, your body lost water through every breath you took, through your skin, through natural processes that never stop. By morning, your blood has the consistency of syrup instead of flowing like a river, and your heart is working harder than it needs to, just to keep you alive. This isn't just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. The hours between 6 and 10 in the morning are when most heart attacks and strokes happen, especially for people over 65. Your thickened blood struggles to move through narrowed vessels, your heart strains against the resistance, and your brain receives less oxygen than it desperately needs. Many people wake up feeling dizzy, foggy, or exhausted not because they're getting older, but because they're dehydrated. But there's something beautiful about how quickly this can change. Before you reach for that first cup of coffee, before you check your phone or brush your teeth, your body is asking for one simple gift. 1 glass of room temperature water with just 1/4 of a lemon squeezed into it. That's all. Not ice water that shocks your system. Not hot water that forces your body to work. Just gentle, room temperature water that flows through you like a healing stream. The lemon isn't just for taste. It provides potassium that your heart craves, vitamin C that awakens your immune system, and natural compounds that help your liver process the night's work of healing and repair. Within minutes, your blood begins to thin, your circulation improves, your brain receives the oxygen it needs, and your entire system remembers what it feels like to be nourished. This simple act, taking less than 2 minutes, creates a foundation for everything else that follows. It's your first gift to yourself each day, your first choice for vitality over deterioration. And tomorrow morning, when you reach for that glass of water, you'll feel your body responding with gratitude you can actually sense. Number 4. Gentle movement upon waking. Your body has been still for 8 hours, and right now, it's making a choice about how this day will begin. Blood has settled in your lower extremities, your joints have stiffened like old hinges, and your circulation has slowed to a whisper. Most people try to jolt themselves awake, rushing from bed to bathroom to kitchen, wondering why they feel dizzy, unsteady, or confused. There's a gentler way, a way that honors the transition from rest to activity instead of fighting against it. Think of your body as a wise old friend who needs a moment to remember how to move. After hours of stillness, your muscles have forgotten their purpose, your balance has grown uncertain, and your brain is still catching up to being awake. In just 1 minute, you can change everything. While still sitting on the edge of your bed, take 3 deep breaths that fill your chest completely. Raise your arms overhead like you're greeting the sun, then lower them slowly. Roll your shoulders forward 5 times, then backward 5 times, feeling the tension release. Gently turn your head left and right, like you're saying no to the night and yes to the day. Then stand carefully and do 10 slow heel raises, feeling your calves awaken and your circulation begin to flow. This isn't exercise, this is awakening. These simple movements send signals throughout your entire body, delivering oxygen to your brain, stimulating blood flow to every organ, and reducing your risk of morning dizziness or falls. Your mood lifts because movement creates the chemicals that make you feel hopeful. Your mind clears because your brain receives the fuel it needs to think. Most importantly, you're telling your body that today will be different from yesterday, that you're not just surviving another day, but preparing to thrive in it. And your body, grateful for this gentle attention, responds by giving you the stability and energy you need to move through your morning with confidence and grace. Number 5. Early nourishment. Every morning, your body wakes up hungry for one specific thing, and most people over 60 are starving it to death without knowing it. While you slept, your body worked tirelessly to repair and restore itself, using up its available energy. Now it faces a choice. It can either receive the protein it needs to maintain your muscles, or it can begin eating your own muscle tissue for fuel. Let me tell you about Robert, a 68-year-old retired teacher from Texas. 3 years ago, he noticed he was getting weaker. Simple tasks like carrying groceries or climbing stairs left him winded. His doctor told him this was normal aging, but Robert refused to accept that. He discovered that he was unknowingly starving his muscles every single morning. Now, at 71, he's stronger than men 20 years younger, and it started with one simple change to his morning routine. Here's what Robert learned that changed everything. After hours without food, your body is in a breakdown state, and without protein, it turns to your own muscles for the amino acids it desperately needs. This happens silently, invisibly, morning after morning, year after year. By the time you notice the weakness, you've already lost precious muscle mass that becomes harder to rebuild as you age. The solution is surprisingly simple. Within 30 minutes of waking, give your body the protein it's asking for. This could be a simple protein shake, 2 boiled eggs, or Greek yogurt. Nothing complicated, nothing expensive. Just clean protein that tells your body to build instead of break down. When you do this consistently, remarkable things happen. Studies show you can reduce muscle loss by up to 60% over 5 years. Your blood sugar stabilizes, your cravings disappear, and your mind becomes sharper because your brain receives steady fuel instead of the chaos of sugar spikes and crashes. This isn't about following another diet. This is about understanding what your body needs to stay strong, independent, and capable of living the life you want to live. Number 6. Joint mobility. Your joints are crying out for help every morning, and the way you respond in the next 90 seconds could mean the difference between moving freely or living in pain. Right now, after hours of stillness, the fluid that lubricates your joints has thickened like cold honey. Your knees, hips, shoulders, and spine are stiff and unprepared for the demands of daily life. Most people make a dangerous mistake. They ignore the stiffness and force their bodies into immediate action, rushing to get ready for the day. This creates tiny tears in joint tissues, inflammation that becomes chronic pain, and damage that accumulates over years until simple movements become agonizing challenges. But your joints are remarkably forgiving when you treat them with respect. They want to move, they're designed to move, but they need a gentle invitation to remember their purpose. Think of this as oiling the hinges of a precious door, one that must serve you for the rest of your life. In just 90 seconds, you can transform your entire day. Start by sitting on the edge of your bed and slowly rotating your ankles in circles, feeling the stiffness begin to melt. Gently move your knees up and down, awakening the largest joints in your body. Rotate your torso left and right like you're wringing out tension. Roll your shoulders and turn your neck with care and attention. Lean gently from side to side, breathing consciously as you move. These aren't exercises. They're conversations with your body, gentle reminders of what movement should feel like. When you do this consistently, your joints produce more lubricating fluid. Inflammation decreases, and stiffness becomes a thing of the past. Remember this truth. Mobility equals freedom. The difference between independence and dependence often comes down to whether your joints can carry you through life with ease or trap you in a body that hurts to move. 90 seconds each morning is a small investment for a lifetime of freedom. Number 7. Mental clarity and reverse memory. The most frightening part of aging isn't the aching joints or the tiring more easily. It's the moment you realize your mind isn't as sharp as it used to be, when words escape you, when memories feel fuzzy, when you wonder if you're losing the very essence of who you are. But what if I told you that your brain is far more resilient than you've been led to believe? Every morning, millions of people over 60 wake up feeling mentally foggy, struggling to remember simple things, worried about their cognitive future. They accept this cloudiness as inevitable, not knowing that their brain is simply asking for a specific type of attention, a practice so simple it seems almost too easy to work. Here's the practice that changes everything. After you've nourished your body and gently awakened your joints, find a quiet place to sit for just 3 minutes. Close your eyes and begin to remember yesterday, but not in the usual way. Start with the last thing you remember before falling asleep, then work backwards through your day. What did you have for dinner? Who did you talk to in the afternoon? What did the sky look like when you stepped outside? How did your morning coffee taste? This isn't just memory practice. This is brain training disguised as reflection. When you recall events in reverse order, you're forcing your brain to work in new ways, strengthening neural pathways, building what scientists call cognitive reserve. Research shows that people who practice this simple technique maintain mental sharpness longer and show greater resistance to age-related cognitive decline. But there's something deeper happening here. As you honor the memory of yesterday, you're also training yourself to be fully present, to notice and remember the precious details of your daily life. You're building not just mental strength, but a deeper appreciation for the gift of consciousness itself. Your mind is not fading. It's simply waiting for you to exercise it with the same intention you bring to caring for your body. Number 8, conscious choice in aging. Society has told you a lie about growing older, and it's time you knew the truth. You've been taught that aging means inevitable decline, that weakness and confusion are the price of living longer, that your best years are behind you. But sitting here right now, at whatever age you are, you have more power over your future than you've ever been told. The difference between people who age with frailty and those who age with strength isn't genetics, luck, or expensive treatments. It's a choice made every single morning in the quiet moments after waking. It's the choice to take 5 minutes to honor your body instead of ignoring it, to nourish it instead of neglecting it, to move it instead of letting it stiffen. Every person who has transformed their aging experience started exactly where you are right now. They felt the same stiffness in their joints, the same cloudiness in their mind, the same worry about their future. But they decided that those 5 minutes after opening their eyes would be sacred time, a daily investment in the person they wanted to become. You don't have to do all 5 practices tomorrow morning. Start with 1. Choose the glass of water with lemon, or the gentle movements, or the 3 minutes of reverse memory. Build your morning ritual slowly, adding one element at a time, until these 5 minutes become the most important part of your day. This isn't about surviving old age. This is about thriving in it, about proving to yourself and everyone around you that aging can be a journey of increasing wisdom, deepening peace, and surprising strength. Your body is waiting for your decision. Your mind is ready for your attention. Your future self is depending on what you choose to do tomorrow morning. The power to age with dignity, clarity, and vitality has been inside you all along. Now you know how to use it. 5 minutes. That's all we're talking about. 5 minutes. That could be the difference between watching life happen to you or taking charge of how you want to age. These aren't complicated medical procedures or expensive treatments. These are gifts you can give yourself every single morning, choices that honor the wisdom your body already contains. When you drink that glass of water tomorrow morning, you're choosing circulation over stagnation. When you move gently from sleep to wakefulness, you're choosing balance over dizziness. When you nourish your muscles with protein, you're choosing strength over weakness. When you care for your joints with gentle movement, you're choosing freedom over stiffness. And when you practice that reverse memory ritual, you're choosing clarity over confusion. But more than any of these individual benefits, you're proving something profound to yourself. You're proving that you still have agency in your own life. That aging doesn't mean surrendering to decline. That every morning brings a new opportunity to write a different story about what it means to grow older in America today. You don't need permission to start. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. Tomorrow morning, when you open your eyes, you can choose just one of these practices and begin. Maybe it's the water and lemon. Maybe it's those gentle movements. Start anywhere, but start. Which of these 5 morning rituals spoke to your heart today? What did you most need to hear? If this message moved you, I hope you'll share it with someone who needs to hear it too. Leave a comment and let me know which practice you're going to try first. Your journey matters, and so does your story. Until we meet again, remember this: every sunrise is a chance to begin again, and you have everything you need to make tomorrow morning the start of your strongest chapter yet.